So, many games have been leaked on the Walmart page. They got taken down. Such as the anticipated Knack 3,
What?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
All
it's
40.
the Knack Sextilogy.
Sextilogy?
Yeah.
Go on.
Isn't that what 6 things is called
Yeah,
together?
I think it is sex, yeah.
Yeah, sex.
Just sex.
Trilogy.
It's
Demonetized.
Demonetized. It doesn't matter, whatever.
Okay, so there are a lot of these games that I thought were interesting. We'll definitely include a screenshot in the video.
Absolutely.
Not that it matters because we're going to roll through some of them anyway, but so you know. What's up?
As a courtesy.
Some of these are not interesting at all, though.
No.
Others are, like, very interesting. So something I was at first going to say I'm not interested in this at all, but I'm kind of wondering about it. Do you remember The Division?
Yes.
Do you remember how it launched, like, really stupid, but then as it got expansions, it was kind of like Destiny 1, where, like, they fixed a lot, and it got pretty cool. But by that point, nobody wanted to play it because the damage was done.
Yes, exactly. That's
Yeah.
a great way to describe it, yeah.
So, I'm kind of wondering if Destiny 2 launched not fixed, by the way. They didn't really learn their lesson.
Yeah, I heard it was really bad, actually.
Well, the story's good.
Right.
But the content-wise, it wasn't that good at launch, and the DLCs have been less than interesting.
Which was a problem with the first one, too.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, like, if the Division 2 launches having learned from the mistakes of the Division 1, it might actually be very interesting.
If they take the
me, at
polished
least.
version of 1
Yeah.
and then build on it into 2,
Yes.
yes. Because, yeah, I remember my old roommate got that game and played through it and was bored, I would say, within 2 hours.
It was not a good base vanilla game.
Oh my gosh. I mean, to be bored within a new AAA launch within 2 hours is telling. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah, to polish and bring in the better version of that, it could do well. It has to be marketed well, though, because, I mean, people were into it, but I think it could have been a lot bigger.
Oh, I do too. And I think that if they really capitalize on what made the first game good after the expansions came out, I think they can definitely do that. I think it's just up in the air whether or not they will. But they're also doing Splinter Cell.
Which you love.
Yeah, but some of this is like, take it, with a grain of salt. Do you say with or worth a grain of salt?
With?
I thought it was with.
Where?
Why a grain of salt?
Yeah, thank you.
Take it, why a grain of salt?
That's right.
But basically, Splinter Cell got teased earlier last year, or earlier... Oh, it was earlier this year, because it was in Ghost Recon Wildlands. They had an event where Sam Fisher was in the game.
They did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's because you got tired of that game, rightfully so,
Yeah.
within the first, couple months.
Beat the campaign, that was about it, honestly, yeah.
But, I don't know, I guess, like, it's hard to tell if all of these are real. A lot of them look like they are. I'm also, like, looking at what a couple of them are that I didn't know about. Like, this game, Insurgency Sandstorm, I had never heard of it, but they were, like, going into closed alpha this year. And it's like a shooter. I can't tell if it's a survival shooter.
What is closed alpha?
Well, it's like a very, very early build of the game.
Oh, gotcha.
And they were, like, having people test it like a beta.
Oh.
So that's interesting. I don't know. The reason I think this, like, list has a lot of credence is because, like, of a lot of circumstantial evidence, like, around it. So, like, looking at these things, we have things like...
What about Assassin's Creed? Too? Isn't that, like, just...
We know
like
that'll be back.
Well, I'm figuring that's, like, more of, like, a build-up, because it says Origins on there, doesn't it? So I think it's just, like, building off of that. So I'm wondering if it's just an expansion story, or what that is.
Well, it just said Assassin's Creed PS4 for Assassin's Creed.
I thought I saw Ace Helix on there. If you look around, I believe it's on there. I think it's up to the right portion of it. But it said, like, Assassin's Creed Origins Ace Helix or something like that. So I'm wondering if that's just, like, a build-off of this story.
Isn't that... No, that's for the... That's, like, actually available already.
It is?
Because that's like buying Helix points, isn't it, for the multiplayer? That's what that is.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the weird thing about this list is there's certain things mixed in that were already available, which, like, adds, credibility to it.
Right.
And then there's also things we knew that were going to happen eventually. Some of these things, there's no way they're coming out, though, for that year. Like, it might be at E3, definitely, but, like, we know Final Fantasy VII's remake is, like, really troubled, like, with development. Like, it's going to end up being good, but Square had to pull the development of this from another company and rework the entire game now. There's no way it's coming out, like, next year.
Because I feel like
that's just impossible.
Yeah, that game's been pushed back a million times.
Yeah, and it will be until they get it perfect, because it's way overhyped to the point where, like, if they release anything less than phenomenal, people will be really, really, really mad.
Yeah.
And it won't be worth the backlash. So there's no way that's coming out. Other things are, like, no-brainers, like NBA 2K19.
Same with WWE.
Like, do you really think they're going to cancel NBA? Like, obviously, that's coming out.
Yeah.
Then there's, like, Rage 2.
Which we have seen
That
stuff
actually, after these leaks, that got confirmed.
Right.
Like,
which is,
within
credibility.
Within about a week. So, it's kind of weird that happened. I mean, I don't know. So, if you, like, look at the fact that there's stuff we already knew was going to happen off this list, then you look at the fact that Rage 2 got confirmed after this was leaked. I don't know. I'm pretty set on this list is legit.
I think so, too.
Or mostly legit. It's just going to be up in the air whether or not all these things come out that year, or if they are just showing up at E3.
Right.
And this is a placeholder. Because, like, Kingdom Hearts has had a placeholder out for... Kingdom Hearts 3, I think, had, like, an Amazon placeholder out for, like, the last 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, like, back... It was announced a long time ago, and it's just had a placeholder there ever since, and it had a placeholder date on it. And since there's no dates on any of these, they just say pre-order now.
I was going to bring that up, by the way. Were there any games you wish that you saw on there that you don't see? I mean, that's probably not the end of the list, obviously. That's just one page. But, any games you wanted to see on there?
Well, I mean, was there more than one page? I only saw the one page.
That's what I mean. So, I don't know. I mean...
Because we only had the one screenshot to go off of.
Exactly.
From
That's
what
I mean.
saw.
So, could there have been more? Because, I mean, if you think about it, I know there are rumors...
Wildlands 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rumors of what?
There were rumors. We always talk about Batman. Always. But there were rumors of a Superman game in the works.
Yeah, so do I wish that I could see that Superman game coming out? Absolutely. Did I ever think 100% that was confirmed? No.
No.
So I'm not surprised to not see it on here.
Right.
Also, I'm okay with getting a break from those. Like the Rocksteady games. Like, they're pretty phenomenal, but, like... I also don't want MCU treatment of them where it's just they're hitting you every year
over and over
something.
Again. Yeah,
it's just unnecessary. And we also have Spider-Man coming out later this year,
right?
So it's not a big deal to me. I'm trying to think of if there was anything else I cared about that like should have been on here.
You know what's interesting? I didn't see COD on there.
I didn't see Battlefield on here either. Did you?
No.
No.
So I feel like there's got to be another page, or at least more, because there's. That's obviously, once you get towards that time, there's huge releases.
And this Destiny Comet, this is weird, because Comets were originally, and I think they still use it in the development of the game, they were supposed to be big content packs. Like, they never, like, the Taken King didn't come out and they said, like, here's our Comet. It's just, like, a thing they call it, like, in-house.
Right.
And it's supposed to be, like, a passing content thing that's, like, pretty huge to hold you over between games. And... I don't know. So the Comet for the first game was the Taken King.
Gotcha.
So that was the massive thing. And we knew that there was a fall expansion coming out. That was going to be a big one anyway.
Right.
What's weird is that I don't understand, is this list only for things being shown at E3 that are coming out in 2019 or also... No, because some of these are 18. So is this list both 2018 and 2019? Because NBA 2K19 will obviously launch at the end of 18, won't it?
No, that'll probably launch. If I had to guess,
I thought they always launched the calendar year before, but
they do. It's usually in September is when those games launch. September or beginning of October. So like NHL,
so 3 months out from the end.
Right. So like Madden 19 will launch in like end of August.
Okay, so that makes sense. So we know that those will be still 2018, basically. But I don't know. Some of these other things, it's like pretty obvious that they wouldn't be until 2019. Or at least I couldn't see them being before that. Like, I can't see Borderlands 3 coming out in 2018 now.
No.
When it hasn't been announced yet.
At all. And we're in the middle of May? Yeah, almost.
They kind of did that with, like, Bethesda did that with Fallout 4.
They did.
They
yeah.
announced it, and then a few months later it came out. But
And they just did that with Rage 2. I mean, Rage 2 is, if that's coming out this year, they just did the same thing that they did with Fallout. So.
yeah, I don't know. So you seem to peek up at Lego DC Villains.
Yes.
Are
But
you
I
not
love
tired of those games yet?
No, okay. I guess maybe I am a little, just because I haven't been heavily invested. Like, I've played the Lego games. Like, I loved Lego Harry Potter. I loved Lego Batman 2, and I played 3. It was fine. But there's some that I love, like Lego Marvel Superheroes was great. So it just...
Well, I went and played Lego Force Awakens.
And yeah, that
I
was
was really
great, too.
surprised by that.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
very good.
So there's some really good ones, and I mean, they've been really going. I mean, the focus has been DC with the Lego games for what it feels like. Because I mean, they did 3 Lego Batmans, and now DC Villains. So I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for it. I don't know if it's like a day one purchase, but
Well, what did you think about the Super Smash Bros. Switch
that's
announcement?
sweet. That's cool.
Because your fiance has a Switch,
Yes, she does.
and would you be getting that? I
be-
think it's one of those better Nintendo games that they release,
I think it will.
but it just depends if you have an investment in playing it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And that's the thing is it's been pretty much Mario Kart. That's about it. And I mean, she played Mario Odyssey, phenomenal. But like, she hasn't gone back and played it since she beat it.
Did you
know,
play
so-
Breath of the Wild then?
No.
Okay.
No, that's one that needs to be played as well.
That's
but
something on there. That's my thing with Switch is like there's stuff on it, but there wasn't enough to get me to buy it yet. I
Right.
will eventually. But that and Metroid Prime, both in the near future. That's I don't know. That's certainly a draw to the system.
Which is it's cool to see because I mean we're seeing games that we didn't know about, getting some more information. Obviously these leaks happen pretty consistently, but I think it's cool to see and get an idea of what we.
They're
are
usually
gonna see.
super fake though.
Exactly. So to see some actual credibility with
Yeah.
it is nuts.
Yeah, because this looks like it would be mostly real.
I mean, they put in super obvious games like 2K games come out every year. So I mean, for the most part, so it's adding the credibility there, and then games that we've heard rumors about. So I mean, it's not like they're just completely out there and saying,
No.
yeah, here's some random game that you've never heard
But
of.
the real nail in the coffin is that they announced Rage 2 after this leak came out.
Exactly.
That's to me what says like, okay, these are probably legitimate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if there was no legitimacy to that rumor or like to this leak, they wouldn't have felt the need to do that if this was all fabricated.
Right.
They could have easily just denied it and said like, no, it's not happening,
And then waited another month or two,
and then unveiled it. Yeah.
right.
So I don't know. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm surprised to actually see something with water underneath it
I know.
instead of like just some fake thing that comes up and then is dismissed immediately and then never gets any credibility.
Because it always feels like that's what happens. We get super excited.
Well,
And
this
then
is
just
why
get-
I don't get super excited about these rumors anymore.
Yeah, I
Because we
do.
talk about them.
I get brutally murdered.
Then half the time they're fake.
Yeah.
Which is why we always say the rumors.
Allegedly.
But it's still like, you're still kind of like, I really hope that's true.
I know. Every time.
Yeah.
And if it's actually true, that'd be cool. Because there's some cool games on there.
Oh, for sure.
But a lot of the games that we don't know about aren't on there as well. So
And some I don't really care about as well. Like
Exactly.
Just Cause 4.
yeah, like no one cares.
Not really. Especially after 3.
I heard it was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good. But anyway, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this game leak list. Were you excited when you saw the games? Is this the first you're hearing about it? Do you think it's all legit? Let us know. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.